Not that he wasn't headed there anyway, but let's just say when he arrives now, he'll have a little more money to burn if he so chooses. I guess it's only fitting. After all, Rison has been burning defensive backs with regularity during his 4 years at Michigan State. But despite that, this year, prior to his incredible postseason, seemed to be a waste for the most part. At times, it quite naturally got to Andre, but in retrospect...
You were on par for a 1,000-yard season.
But people they tended to look at how many catches I was averaging per game, see. I look at the yardage.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
But then you tend to look at them a little bit, the catches per game. When you what if a little bit, now come on, Andre. When you what if a little bit, say, man, you know, if I could get like 5 or 6.
In the back of my mind, I used to say, you know, what if I got 5 or 6 a game? You know, I'd get 200 yards. But I just put that, you know, off to the side, and I just worried about yardage. I tried to get 1,000 yards.
And you?
Just missed it.
Just missed it. Counting the Gator Ball.
Counting the Gator Ball.
The game against Georgia was a bummer for the Spartans collectively, but once they fell behind 17-0, they were forced to throw, and it was showtime for Andre. 9 catches, 252 yards, and 3 touchdowns. After that, he took his act on the road, and he continued to impress. 3 TDs and another covering 81 yards was called back. That was in the Hula Bowl. From there, it was on to the East-West Shrine game. Rison didn't see much man-for-man coverage as he did in the past, but he still set up a couple of scores.
How much do you think your stock has risen? You have to laugh at that.
Well, I went from the bottom to the top in the first round.
That's what they tell you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is no joke. Guess where Rison would like to play in the NFL?
People look at Detroit and they say, well, they'll never win, but they're going to win. I mean, that's the same thing they said about the Saints. When they had, you know, they were calling them the Aints. So they're just around the corner. And I think they need some, you know, some offensive production. And I believe I can do it, you know, if I'm given an opportunity. People tend to look at me as cocky. I'm not cocky. I'm just, you know, I just have a lot of confidence. And, you know, they can look at me either way they want to look at me. I'm going to go out there and perform because I'm the one that has to play. And that's one of the ways that I play. You know, I talk when I'm on the field. You know, people that know me, I'm totally different also. I'm very laid back. You know, I listen to my jazz music. That's about it. And laugh and joke, thinking I'm Eddie Murphy. But but other than that, on the field, you have to be cocky.
I would take Andre in a minute. He's the guy we're talking about. He's a speed guy. He's the guy that will make things happen. He's the guy, he's a Rice. He's the guy to make the big catch. He's the guy you can go to on 3rd down and 15. He's the guy that can win with the last 3-4 seconds. He's a game breaker, and he's the type of guy that we love to have in this program. Without a doubt, Andre is, in my opinion, probably was in the middle of the first round somewhere. Right now, in my opinion, he's at the top of the first round because he has done a tremendous job in these All-Star games and the last game they played at Michigan State in the Gator Bowl. So Andre's a top receiver, one of the top receivers in the college ranks.
Isn't it Andre Rison by now? From Philadelphia. The pick in the round sold.
Indianapolis Colts take in the Philadelphia spot in the first round by virtue of the previous trade agreement. Andre Rison, wide receiver, Michigan State.
Well, like we said, Andre Rison is going to a team. Joe dropped him down from Michigan. So we've been waiting to show these highlights for a couple hours.
Oh, these are highlights.
We're very happy to show them to you because this guy was rated #1 on the list as wide receiver. 146 career catches. Broke Kirk Gibson's all-time record for receiving yardage with almost 3,000 yards. In the Gator Bowl, 9 catches, 252 yards, 4 TDs. Joe, I know you remember that. But 3 touchdown passes in the Hula Bowl, and is such a good athlete that his sophomore and especially his junior year, he plays in the Rose Bowl and then plays 6th man on the basketball team. Not this past year. He's 6th man on a Big Ten basketball team. What kind of athlete is Andre Rison? I'll tell you what, Ron Meyer can't believe that they had such a shot to get a receiver like this. And again, Tommy, we talked about it, and Joe, he's going to a team that's going to cost him money, but he's going to a team that can get into playoffs right away, and was a year ago.
Well, he'll make that money up, Chris. The difference between being chosen as those first 10 players, second 10 players, last 8 is substantial. But what you're talking about, a kid now who may miss the dollars coming out, but his team hopefully will be in the playoffs year in, year out. He'll make that money back along the way.
Michigan State, 177 yards, USC, 37. McAllister, pressure coming from the backside. Stokes, he gets it away just in time. Rison makes the catch at the 2. Rison with all kinds of speed. This is the first time as he starts his little out move. Hale again, the reserve cornerback, is in there. He makes a nice adjustment. One foot, his left foot is on the ground, and a nice reception. 44 yards, as you see, Rison with his eyes on the ball all the way. Played quarterback in high school, went to the same high school as Mark Ingram, the #1 draft choice out of Michigan State.
It's an event, and a national event for all of us.
That's a terrific way to start a new year. Many fans experienced it today. Here's Lorenzo White. Oh, it's twisting for 8 more. In his career, Lorenzo White 15 times rushed for 100 yards in a half. 5 of those this season. And he's on his way to a possible century mark in the first half today. 6 seconds left in this first half. Michigan State on the ground.
Well, we said they were a running game. A running circus. They do put it on the ground and roll it at you.
On 2nd and 10. Long throw to Rison, and he's open. All the way to the 6-yard line.
When you can force a defense to come up and play 8 men against the run, you can expect to get that man-to-man coverage. When you have a receiver with the speed and the catching ability of an Andre Rison, and you get that ball as perfectly thrown as that, you've got one big play.
55 yards on the play. They spot it inside the 8-yard line. 1st and goal. Rison, who has been brilliant, and he's 2nd in the Big Ten long jump. He is a reserve on their basketball team as well. White diving to the goal line. Did he step out of bounds at the 3? Yes, apparently. That's the same play they scored on in the first quarter.
What has left Tony Mandarich uncovered for a good part of the day. That's the big left tackle. They're not putting a lineman in front of him, but watch him struggle down that sideline, stepping out right at the 2-yard end.
White, touchdown! By going through the last 15 years, you could say that so often in these contests. McAllister throwing to Rison and caught.
I said earlier, this is a man that on the right team would be an All-American right now. Watch the feet. Is he in bounds? Well, he's in bounds until he touches out.
That's right. That's the old jump pass.
You bet. And he threw a strike. Well, what a nice throw here. We've criticized him for the bad plays out of the passing game. Let's give him his due. He's had some big plays here, and this may be one of the biggest, if not the biggest of the day.